Hey, we're live, everybody.
Steve, push the buttons!
The
Yay!
buttons are pushed, and we're all the way live. Yes, indeed. Hi,
It's
everybody.
not my fault, Kane.
Kane.
I promise I have done everything possible. Have you pushed the button? Did you push the button, Steve? Are we live? Are we live, Steve?
You all don't realize, okay? We've been on this Zoom call for like 40 minutes
20.
or so.
Yeah.
Because before this we recorded a short for our Agatha Christie and then there were none series. That's going to go up probably tomorrow if I have time to put it together. So we've been like on the call for a while, and literally 10, 12 minutes before it's time to go to actually start the show, Dana is like, have you pushed the buttons yet? Have you pushed the buttons
push
yet?
all of them except the last one. You could push those. You could go ahead and push those. It seems like we've got plenty of time. I'm like, yes, I know, but you could push those. I'm gonna go put my mascara on. And Steve's like, well, you're not even ready. I'm like, yes, but you could push the buttons while I'm putting my mascara on. Steve?
Yes, Dana.
Did you push the buttons while I was putting my mascara on? All of them except the last one?
Yes, all of them except the last one.
You did?
Yes. So yeah, thank you for the condescending pat on the head. So every
so much fun. Like all the things that like would not be professional to say to my students when they do things that I'm just like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? I can just take all of it out on you.
You get to say them to me, yeah. So you know
that's entertainment.
So, but everybody watching should know that unless for some reason she is actually like physically running late, if our live streams are ever a little bit late going on, it's never Dana's fault. Dana is always like, are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Have you pushed the buttons?
Go!
Like, it's if we're ever like a few seconds or a minute past 6 when we actually go up for the show, it's always me. It's never Dana. So
I won't say never. Sometimes I'm like, oh wait, I do have to have my ear. And the thing is, I don't have to have my earbuds in for this part of it.
No, technically you don't. You could put them in before we start watching, but
you're very conscientious about making sure that I have the opportunity to put my earbuds in before we go live, which is thoughtful of you, even if it's completely unnecessary.
Well, and I just think it helps the show run more smoothly if we're both ready to go when we go live.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, I know you're ready to go. I'm ready to go too.
Oh, Liz, thank you so much. I felt like a good teacher today, you guys, and it wasn't even while I was teaching. How about that?
it was you've told me about this. It was teacher related.
Oh yeah. It was while I was
teacher adjacent activity.
It was a parent call that went long, but it was just like a really good conversation about the student and the student's frustration in class because the student really wants an A and is turning in like freaking classwork assignments multiple times to get the best grade possible. And so one of the things I said to the parent is, at this age, developmentally, it's a great time to have some of those conversations about, okay, you want an A in this class. Why? What is an A? What does that mean? Why is an A in this class important to you? Or why is it important to you to have A's in all of your classes? What does that mean to you? And why is that important to you? And I said, and that's a good, developmentally, that's good for a student to think about, a person to think about at this particular age. But also, you are clearly someone who cares about this student, and having this conversation would be a great way, especially if you're just sort of encouraging them to think about this and you're receptive to what they say and you're not judging them. It's a great way to bring you guys together and to grow closer together as people, as family. And it just went really well. The parent was really receptive and just it felt so validating to have that kind of encouragement and really almost excitement about, oh, here's another idea about how I can support my student from a parent. It was just really, really nice. It was really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, came exactly. Your parents not giving you guff, but then as a student, you come back and say, okay, what does an A mean for you? Because, and because the easy answer is it means you tried your best. No, that is not actually correct. An A does not mean you tried your best. An A means that you fulfilled the expectations for that assignment. That's it. That's all. Were you challenged by that assignment? Did you grow from it? Did you learn? Some of those are a lot more important than did you fulfill the qualifications for that assignment? I almost want to say, who cares? But like exploring all of those whys can lead to some really interesting, meaningful and growth-oriented conversations. That's pretty cool, especially if we can take out the judgment and the should. Just let that go to the side and just explore the ideas. It can be a really great way to think about what's important for me and what my parents want from me and what they hope for me. Because there's at 14, 15, 16 years old, there's just so much going on in that family dynamic. People care about each other a lot in ways that can be helpful and or hurtful. And navigating that is really tricky at that age. It's pretty awesome. So,
yeah.
Big box. I'm going to jump in, Steve. I'm still going. Big box. You do not need a real diploma. The GED is enough. Full stop. Okay, Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's a general equivalency diploma, which means it's equivalent to a diploma. So there you go. But anyway, so I was just going to tell everybody, in case you haven't, checked the video description or the title of the stream, we are watching Deep Space Nine tonight. It is a Star Trek week. Huzzah. And we are watching Deep Space Nine Season 4, Episode 6, Rejoined. And I just want to give everybody a heads up because I know how just viciously homophobic my audience tends to be.
Oh.
So just a little warning for everybody.
There is some gay, you stand for that.
There is some gay stuff in tonight's episode. There's just a little bit of gay stuff. So I know how much everybody who watches my content is just a vicious, bigoted homophobe. So I just wanted to give everybody fair warning that if you cannot tolerate gay shit, you might not want to watch. Yes, Dana. Yes.
Well, I think this is the first time that your audience will have the opportunity to notice the pride flag is gone.
But only temporarily, right?
Yeah, because you also may notice there's a big old heckin' gap between these two bookcases now. So like what happened was
you're doing some rearranging and
there was a bunch of stuff just hidden behind that flag, which is part of why it was there. And so that stuff got moved over to those bookcases, which are new. And then I emptied out that bookcase. And then I moved the stuff that was in that bookcase and put it over in this bookcase. So now you can see, let's see, my practice bouquet for my wedding and my Cabbage Patch doll that my Aunt Carol got me. And my distance running trophy, which I got during the Harvest Festival, which I think I talked about in something other where I was in Princess Candidate, and my flamingo, don't make me put my foot down little thing, and the bouquet that I had when I was matron of honor at my best friend's wedding, and my shell collection, all of that stuff was over, almost all of it. The bouquet was not, it was up on the top, was over in this one, and it got moved over because we're moving everything sort of this way so that it's a little bit closer to the light switch, so that we have room way over in the corner where you can't see to put the chest, which is now like right here in the middle of the room. So everything is getting moved around basically so that I have more room for books, because I'm hoping to go to the ALA convention in Chicago and get lots of books this summer.
All of that to explain why your pride flag is not hanging behind you at the moment.
I have it very neatly folded right here. It is.
There you go.
It is waiting to be rehung once.
Yeah.
At some point, once things are not like this.
Yes. And yes, Kara, I was being 100% sarcastic, talking about how homophobic my audience is. Now, if I think most,
Totally.
in all seriousness, dropping the sarcasm, in all seriousness, anybody who watches my stuff knows that, like, if anybody leaves so much as a homophobic comment on one of my videos, yeah,
You're gonna be like Venkman at the beginning of Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, when he's they are the comment is deleted and they are banned. I have a zero tolerance policy for any kind of bigotry, homophobia included. So yes, I was being sarcastic because I'm very 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 lucky that my in many cases my viewers are more progressive and even further to the left than I am, which I am incredibly happy about and grateful for. So yes.
HB Haga, it's a little bit more than 4 centimeters. I think it's about 8 or 9. But yeah, it's just like a little bit because we were so close to being able to fit the dadgum chest right over there, and it wouldn't fit. Like, and I was like, well, if I move everything out of the cabinets, we could, because they weren't quite, you know, all the way shoved up against the poor light switch there, which ironically doesn't actually do anything. There are the overhead lights in here do not work. When we bought this house, I don't know how many years ago, it's been over a decade. To say that it's a fixer-upper does not go remotely far enough. There is no floor in this room. There is a subfloor, thank goodness, but there's no actual floor. Dirt. I'm not standing on dirt, but there's like plywood covered by area rugs, which is why, hooray for the frame. It's so bad, you guys. But it's livable. And, you know, I do not have high standards when it comes to that kind of thing. I just get really uncomfortable when, like, people who do have high standards come to visit. So anyway, Steve, where's I going with this? I was going
Hey, are your earbuds plugged in? Because I just heard myself.
Oh, hang on. I don't know. I'm tired.
Are you? Yeah. I know.
It says speaker headphones. It says
I know because when I spoke earlier, I heard an echo of myself from your side. So if there's audio still coming out,
like maybe you just need to shut up, Steve.
I shouldn't be hearing myself through your earbuds.
Can you hear yourself now?
No.
Well, it's because you're not saying anything. Gosh darn it.
God. My God, anyway, you're trying.
Also, I wanted to say, well, maybe it got taken away. Boo. Oh, Mr. System 96, thank you, because I put on lipstick and then like I smudged my cheeks a little bit and I put on mascara and I put on a little necklace because like, there's nothing there. I could do a little bit more. So yay. I like to make myself look nice for, you know, for posterity. So be made up. Because like the internet's forever, guys. Oh boy, don't I know that. Gravy.
You've had some experience in that area in recent months.
Don't make grumpy faces. Don't make grumpy faces. If you're a teacher, teachers ain't allowed to be grumpy. And goodness gracious, teachers can't say any wordy words because if that gets caught, oh no.
Nope.
Those are just my index fingers, so it's
you're holding up your index fingers. You know, you could also you could hold up the ring finger. Or here, did you ever do this when you were a kid and you wanted to give somebody the finger but have plausible deniability? Did you ever do this shit?
Nope.
You're like you can't prove that I'm giving you the finger. It could be any finger under here.
I just looked at them.
Right, but that's not as naughty. There's nothing.
Oh, it's not as naughty. It's just terrifying. Because
like you could also do read between the lines, which is clever, but you're not actually giving them the finger. I mean, if you do behind the hand, you know that you are really giving them the finger, even though they can't see it. And they know too,
by that point, you know, yeah, David C. Drake says the audio is fine on their
Good.
end. So, Steve, I guess the problem is you.
All right. Whoa, gee, what a surprise. Well, thank you, Kara. Well, if you start playing the episode and your audio is coming through, then I will, scream and holler.
Jonathan Bell, that is the case, but I will say laminate can be really nice. Laminate is pretty awesome because it's like there's all kinds of patterns and it's got more give than just vinyl does. And it's easy to clean and it's comfy and it's not just like it's comfy on your feet. There's a little bit like it's got the, I don't know, plushness. It's got the depth of carpet, the give of carpet. Yeah. And lots of patterns, super easy to clean.
Well, welcome, Jerry Lynn fan. Glad you could join us. Hope you have a good time. We're watching Deep Space Nine. We're watching Rejoined, season 4, episode 6. So if you want to go ahead and cue that up on whatever streaming service or DVD or whatever you watch Deep Space Nine. And also, cool username. I was also a Jerry Lynn fan back in the day. So good to meet a fellow Jerry Lynn fan. And Andrew as well. Andrew Page, welcome.
Hey, Andrew. Somebody said that they weren't. Vilcata, was that you? Said you're not going to be able to make it for Poirot. I'm so sorry. Yes, of course.
Because of work.
Come and watch it. Whenever. But we will be bummed not to have you in the live chat. So, but I'm glad you can be here tonight. And anytime you want, my dude. Anytime you want, we can talk about last week's episode of Poirot before we start DS9. Sure. I am totally down for that. 100%.
Sure.
It'll make me look forward to the DS9 weeks even more.
Because there will be non-Star Trek related stuff for you to talk about.
Yes!
It is Trek reluctantly. It is Trek reluctantly.
I'm not completely reluctant on the Trek, but Steve, I hope you can forgive me, but I like the Poirot better.
I can forgive you.
Yes, but do you?
I do forgive you. Listen. I know I've brought this up once or twice before. I think maybe 2 years ago, we watched Horror of Dracula together. Not for like a show or anything.
Gravy, has it been that long?
It was not this past Halloween, but Halloween before that.
I have no concept of time, you guys. It's all gone.
But anyway, so we watched Horror of Dracula together, which is one of my very favorite movies.
I'm sorry.
You had never seen it. You had never seen it. We watched it together. You were not crazy about it. I don't remember. I don't think you didn't like hate it, but you weren't like crazy about it. You were just kind of like, oh, okay. I forgive you. I forgive you.
I know, but I can't. I still regret letting you down.
You didn't let me down. No, when it's all a matter of taste, it's all a matter of opinion. You're not letting someone else down because you have personal preferences different than theirs.
Yes, you are. Shut it. Because
wow.
Because come on, man. When we see something together and we're both excited about it, that's better.
Oh yes. So
and it is a letdown. It's not like I did anything on purpose or that I've wronged you in some way, but it is a letdown.
The fact that you didn't enjoy something that I was hoping you would enjoy, that we could enjoy together, is a letdown. Yes, but not a letdown in the sense that I feel like
I have wronged you.
You need to be sorry about it. That's no.
Sorry in the sense that I express regret, not guilt. I feel no guilt whatsoever.
Well, good. You shouldn't.
Well, good, because I don't. Vilcata, that's awesome. And Azalea Jane, we should have had you on the executive production team, because
Trek less than enthusiastically.
I mean, it's not really reluctant,
but
slightly less than enthusiastic.
You know what I love about that is that goes so far afield from the original gimmick, because so Trek reluctantly is a riff on Trek Actually, which is a riff on Love Actually, which I just randomly landed on because my first what is now my first Trek Actually video had the word actually in the title. And I thought, well, shit, that's as good of a gimmick as anything to tie all these Star Trek videos together. So, so it's Trek Actually to Trek Reluctantly and to, well, Trek less than enthusiastically. So by this point, if somebody comes in and just sees that title, they have no idea what that could possibly mean.
Nope. But that's half the fun right there.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
The show picks up momentum like halfway through. Great. Although, in fairness, we were like literally, that's one of the points that we made in our Agatha Christie short that has not yet gone up, but that we recorded today.
Earlier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That it picks up momentum, like you get halfway through the book, and then there were none, and there's still some.
There's so it's not over yet.
Like 3/4 of the way through the book, we've still got half of the victims are still around. So, although by the time we get to the end of the chapter that we just discussed, there are less or
indeed.
Fewer. Steve, should it be less or should it be fewer? I think it should be fewer.
There are fewer because you're talking about a number of
individuals.
Yeah. Azalea, I agree. Love Actually is the worst. It's a horrible movie. It's an absolutely awful movie. The review that Jason and I did of it for Late Seating a few years ago is one of the most fun, I think, to record because I just absolutely despise that movie. It's terrible. And it's always fun to talk about movies that you think are terrible.
Not so much nebulously, and Mr. I Love the End, certainly not kicking and screamingly. I don't hate it that much. Even Steve does not actually hate which one? What's the one? The one that I like that you don't?
Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge. You were not
I don't hate it.
Screaming.
No, I don't hate it. I don't hate Moulin Rouge. I think it's no, listen, no, I haven't changed my opinion on it. I still think what I said before, it's one of the worst films I've ever seen. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. No, I don't hate it because there's nothing. No, listen, let me explain my use of vocabulary.
I'm trying to listen in between the laughs.
Let me explain my use of vocabulary and then we'll watch the episode because we do have a Deep Space Nine episode to watch. So I think Moulin Rouge is absolute garbage. I don't think there's a single good thing about it. I don't think there's a single good scene in the movie. It's terrible. But I don't say that I hate it because I think it's silly to hate movies or TV shows unless there's like something actually hateful about them. Like if it was like I would say like the movie, I would say that I hate like a movie like 300. Because it's full of fascism, or like D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation. D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation, on a technical and even on an artistic level, so much better than Moulin Rouge in every way. But its content is racist and degrading and just hateful and awful. So even though it's incredibly well made and accomplished in certain ways, I still consider it a movie that I hate because its content is so utterly repulsive.
Abhorrent.
Yeah.
Abhorrent.
So, yes.
There was a great I love Azalea Jane. Don't go away, Matt. Just go away. I like that a lot.
That's a great phrase.
I feel that a lot.
That's a great phrase. Don't go away, man. Just go away.
You missed an opportunity. I don't think we can actually put GIFs in the chat, but if we could, you should. Steve's not mad about the movie thing. Dana just disappointed.
Kevin Sorbo's most lasting contribution to our culture, and that is as it should be.
Yes.
And I say that as someone who enjoyed the Hercules show. I enjoy the Hercules show very much, but sorry,
more
Kevin,
than Moulin Rouge.
Oh God, yes. Oh God, yes. I'd rather watch the Arbud Dwyer footage than watch Moulin Rouge again.
All right, shall we start the show, Steve? Steve is going to count us in, saying 3, 2, 1, play, and everybody clicks play on play. It's available on Paramount Plus and whatever other alternative methods you may have.
However you choose to watch it is up to you.
That's on you,
But
friends.
yes, so I'll count us in. You'll notice the time code that is up above our video right now. That'll be the time code of the video as Dana and I are watching it. So if for any reason you know have to stop and come back, you can catch up using the time code. So I'll count us in from 3. I'll do 3, 2, 1, play, and we'll all hit play when I
And
say play.
hopefully it'll work because we've been talking for a little bit here.
Well,
I don't know.
do you want to double check and make sure that you're good to go?
Yeah, let me go ahead. Oh yeah, because I had to reload. Okay, and
well,
now I click 10 seconds back to the beginning. Okay, see, it's good we did that because I would add a little the Wheel of Doom.
Here we go. All right. In 3, 2, 1, play.
See, Kara, I loathe STDs for other reasons.
By the way, Kara, did you see the shirt I'm wearing tonight? It's my disco shirt. So. Dun, dun, dun,
I thought he said it's a trek. And I was like, well, it's all trek. What are you talking about?
Just a huge loser nerd.
Hi, it's just me. We can see it.
Nobody applauds.
Rude.
So rude. They don't like close-up magic?
Well, I mean, it was close up. They didn't see it. But still,
That's
I mean,
true.
the appropriate thing to do is the amazing Jadzia Dash. You're like, oh, what? Huh? Applaud.
Yeah.
Oh, uh-oh. Apparently she didn't actually need to have a seat because he started talking anyhow, but whatever. Dun, dun, dun.
Lenara, gone!
Well, that's rude. Uh-huh. Oh! Screw her. Or him.
Well, actually.
Radical
Norman,
bacon in this economy? I mean, the egg would be worth more than the latinum. Old man?
Is that your Shatner? Because it's pretty good Shatner, if that's what it was.
You see?
Sup? Well, hello.
It's just me. I don't know what she said.
What'd you say, Dana?
Well, it's just me said, what did I say? I'm like, I don't know.
Ah.
So it's interesting. Is this where we get to find out what happens, like, to spouses when the symbiote changes hosts?
We sure do.
Okay. Norman, is he jealous, or is he just, Klingon cranky like always?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Worf's just like, I don't want to deal with this.
It's a little, I think Klingons just always have indigestion. Hey, Steve, speaking of indigestion, which I don't have yet.
Pizza! Ah, Snake Big Cat, I like that. Our Trek series 3-letter abbreviation is Star Trek Meh. I like it.
Steve.
Yeah, North Jersey Jedi. He's just on edge all the time. Yeah. He's over caffeinated. His stomach is full of live worms. He's just on edge.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just like Mother used to make.
They like it.
That's Galaxy Quest, folks.
That's how the Klingons like to eat it.
Caught the olive.
Nice.
Look, this ain't you. Why you gotta memorize it? Write it down. That's a nice spin on the play.
Yeah.
Carrie, you must have missed those episodes. I knew that. Or I have learned that. David, you should put a link to the kitty picture in the chat.
What are you doing?
Let the storm roll on. Cold never bothered me anyway.
You're just like in your own little world over there.
He's the one who said, let it go.
Oh God, I haven't subjected myself to that movie, so I don't get it.
Oh man, we might have to watch that together.
Okay.
Just on principle. It's not one of my favorite movies, but like, you have a cultural blind spot, Steve.
Yes, I do.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Azalea Jane, ain't that the truth? Woo!
Aren't you dressed yet?
I had the feeling that you weren't going to be ready, so I came in here to see.
Kirak, we're watching Rejoined.
It's been generations, hasn't it? Good gravy. Get over it. Like, it's interesting between, because like when I first saw Monk and people were like making a big deal of him wearing his wedding ring for 10 years, I was like, that's not a big deal. This has been generations, literally generations. And people are like, are you sure that you're ready to move on? Like,
okay, but the fact that it doesn't make sense is part of the point that's being made through the episode.
And I mean, she seems fine with it.
Did that sound sincere?
Ooh.
Also, I personally dream about not having children.
The answer to that, Kira, is never. He's never joking.
He's never joking. Or he's always joking. Oh, here she comes. Be cool, be cool, be cool.
Okay, breathe, 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 breathe. Ha ha ha, small talk, ha ha. Oh, see, here's what you do. Here's what you do. You're over here at the table with food. It's like, oh yeah, it's great.
Want some food? Gotta go. Sorry, Rigel 7.
Steve, no, you're
Yes,
not.
Dana. I'm not, but it's polite to say that. Do that. Do that. Oh, do that.
I love the neckline though. The in and then the little scoop down. That's nice.
Yeah.
Really pretty. You have a brother? It'll be fine. And if that ain't a Chekhov's gun, I don't live in Georgia. Rigel 7, I have no idea.
I'm not sure, Rigel 7.
But it's a nice dress. I like it.
Look, don't take the fact that I'm standing over here by myself with my back to the party make you think that I'm not okay, because I'm okay. I'm totally fine.
Like, are either of them in a relationship?
I don't think so.
Then,
It's
like,
taboo. Did you not hear Bashir say it's taboo in Trill society for a couple that are now in different hosts to get back together?
why?
Because being a joined Trill is about having different experiences, so you're not supposed to reassociate with spouses from a previous host.
Hmm. You could easily make the case that being in different hosts means that it is a different experience.
Well, like I said earlier, the fact that it doesn't make sense is part of the point of the episode. Because, you know,
Sorry,
given what
Azalea. I'm sorry. I was thinking.
given what the whole Trill reassociation thing is a metaphor for, like it's not supposed to make sense.
She really likes that circle dip. The combination of the round and V-necked collar.
Must be one of the, prevailing fashions on the Trill homeworld these days.
IDK. I've never been to the Trill homeworld.
Me neither.
We're missing out. Not sure who betrayed the uniform. Norman Buchwald says not yet, so I have no idea what they're talking about.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
Nicely done, Snake Bit Cat.
Oh, they ain't thinking about the past, y'all. I can tell.
Isn't it great that we're both in new hot hosts? We're both so hot. She was panicking the day after.
Interesting.
Jerry Lynn fan, I think you could definitely view it in terms of trans, but I think at the time it was intended as a quote unquote gay episode because it was the 90s and trans issues weren't really on the radar for most non-trans people. Everything's going to be fine.
That's why I picked you.
You sucker.
I know she doesn't mean that, and that ticks me off.
All I want to hear from your ass is, we ain't got no problems, Jules.
That's nicely done. His face is so great.
He's
love
like
it.
making no effort to hide his third wheelness, like at all.
Yeah, but also like the actor is portraying it just so delightfully well. It's so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's great.
Oh, Kara, but she's only willing to offer one. She don't even mean that, and he knows it. This might be my favorite episode yet because of Julian.
Yeah.
Back to him, and it's a slightly different.
He's just like, whatever.
Snakebit cat. It's wrong. Oh, gotta go.
Oh, a medical emergency. Thank God. I mean, now, see, if Julian was smart, what he would have done is he would have talked to one of his nurses in the infirmary and said, "Hey, I've got to do this thing for Dax at 2200. Can you wait until about 2230 and then page me to the infirmary?" There you go.
See, the problem with that idea is that Julian isn't actually that smart.
Oh, he's pretty smart, though. He's a clever boy.
Sid's way smarter than Julian.
Oh, Snakebit Cat. That's good. That's good.
Beard, I'm not necessarily laughing at Julian's pain, a little bit, but I'm also laughing at the way the actor portrays it. It's really well done.
Oh, yeah.
Norman, Julian is maybe smarter than I'm willing to give him credit for. I'm just
Uh-oh.
not generous, let's say. Radical bacon, maybe IDK.
I couldn't care less, but it's part of my job.
Steve.
Yes, Dana?
Steve. I like pizza.
I'm about to have a slice myself.
Filcata so subtile. Dun dun dun. I'm trying to say they had dinner last night. Gloat.
Losers.
Punch him in the face, Dax.
Right till 7. Yeah, I like that too. A few seconds is all we need. Hey, Drifty580.
Reminds me of Down with Love. Oh, we'll only be here 10 minutes. 10 minutes? Just 10 minutes. Good. Then don't. What's her name? Lenara?
Lenara.
Lenara.
That's it.
Okay.
Oh, something's going on. All right. Okay, so the conversation's over. You can step away from me now. Thanks.
Piss off.
Just doing my slow-mo crunches. I'm starting to think
Have they
going down
talked
on you
about the
during that staff meeting
consequences
the
like
other day
at
was a
all?
mistake. Well, the consequences are, you know,
What?
like I think they get like booted off the homeworld or something.
Yeah, I'll just come and, live here on DS9 with you. Leave the
Yeah,
homeworld. Like, I'm sorry,
yeah.
I'm missing the downside here.
I mean, I do have to say, like, I mean, it doesn't really make that big of a difference, but like in a world where you can live on any one of dozens of planets, it's really not like, oh, I can never go back to Trill again. Oh, whoop-dee.
Like, well, I could buy that if they had previously established a strong connection, like if Dax had said, I want to go, like left the show every so often because it was
Right.
important to her to go back to the homeworld. What season are we in?
4.
They have not established that. Excuse me. Got the hiccups.
Oh, that's right, Kara. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to pass their symbiote on, so you go get some, Dax.
See, that's Jerry Lynn fan. That is not made clear through the episode. And I think that could really empower it. Or my dying love.
Ah.
Like this is the only life that we get together, and that makes it's still worth it. I am still Dax. Whichever Dax I am still Dax. Dax is here within me. Dax is feeling this too. Be aware of that. The end of my life will be the end of my life. You deal with it all the time as a human.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be that bad.
Mr. I Love the Ants, no, the Dominion War hasn't started yet.
Chains break. Chains have ends. Mm-mm. No, you have accepted that. You ain't believing that. Snake Bit Cat, that's a great point. And especially given that that is literally what has happened to them in their previous versions. So you sit down together and you say, this is it. No more memories. No more adventures after this. We get less time. That's nice. We get less time, but it gets to be together. Big box, the symbiote is there right there. The symbiote is
You
part of
betrayed
the
your
decision.
symbiote.
No. Rigel like double level Avery books.
Bridge to engine room. Let's get this science stuff over with so I can go back to fighting monsters on the holodeck. Ah, the gateway to hell has been opened.
Well, that didn't take much. Well, that's convenient.
Fly, little probe.
Liz Hill, sort of.
Oh, that's not good.
That is kind of a badass probe. Damn.
What'd you put in that probe? Azalea, exactly. He needs to be in his proper place, fighting Skeletor on the holodeck.
$255.80, that's definitely questionable because you could easily argue that the spark is increased by the new hosts meeting.
All right, everybody, let's do some Star Trek shit.
Shiny lights. Hi, Mark. That's okay. We're still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was clearly after Never Again. There should have been a big old smoochie.
Oh, I bet there was more than that after the fade out. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean like immediately. Never again,
Yeah.
smooch. Woo! Snake Bit Cat. That's good.
Avery special episode. That's perfect.
And Jerry Lynn Van, that brings up interesting conversations about if we only get one, where does it go? Very much like a PG-13 movie and the F-bomb.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
I mean, if you're feeling better, I could always wear you like a finger puppet for a little bit. I'm ready to kill these symbiotes, aren't you?
Those three little words, more than anything. Do you mean them or not? No, that was the wrong move. Girl, let her touch you.
Thank you for your visit. Please do not return. Yeah, Radical Bacon, Trip from Enterprise from Florida.
Did you ever watch Sense and Sensibility?
I've watched one of them. Yeah.
The one with Emma Thompson?
I think that's the one I saw, yeah. And Hugh Grant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, girl, you shut your mouth and you smile. If she's getting what she wants, you wish her well. You wish that she will be happy, whatever happens, even if it's not what you want, if you really love her.
The end.
So,
Executive producer, homophobic jerk Rick Berman. Anyway.
constrained by 90s stereotypes.
Yes, for sure.
But also, so a little bit of backstory. Not talking about Emma Thompson and Hugh Grant, but the other couple, the younger sister, who is the sensible one, not in the sense that we mean sensible now, but like she has sensibilities about her.
Yes.
And she falls in love with this dashing young man, and he's going to marry her, and then he just drops her.
Aw.
Because he was wealthy and they were not, and so he could provide for her. But then he got cut off by his family because of something he'd done years prior, and he was not going to inherit a lot of money. So he chose instead to court a young woman who was not as high in society, but had a lot of money, like a merchant's daughter, essentially. He's going to marry her. And Emma comes up to her younger sister as they're standing on the hillside looking over his estate, which he will be able to maintain now. And she says, I have heard that he was going to propose that day. He was going to marry you. It wasn't nothing. He did love you. And Marianne is silent for a minute, and she says, but not enough. And I definitely got that vibe from this.
Yeah.
That, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's what sort of has to happen. It's the only way that the story can end, because, and it's the right, and it's well, that, and I mean,
let the lesbians be happy.
Well, not just that, but I mean, that is part of it, sure, because you're right. It's the, the time period. But also, I mean, Dax is a series regular and Lenara is not. And unless they're going to bring her in as another recurring character, like,
Which
she's not.
They totally could have done.
They could have done, but then you have the question of, is this the best thing for the character? Is this the best thing dramatically? And honestly, I mean, like, I'm a sucker for sad endings. I'm a sucker for unrequited love in drama, and I think it's the best.
Unrequited love.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Star-crossed lovers, people who want to be together but can't be together. Like, that's much more dramatically compelling to me. Especially for a series where it's going to go on for a while. Like, look, yes, absolutely. You want to have the two characters who want to be together. Yeah, let them get together, but let them get together in the last episode. You know what I mean? Like, it's just much more dramatically compelling to have the unhappy separation than it is to have them get together and be happy, because then, and as I think television history has shown us so many examples of, there's so many great shows that had the will they or won't they couple. And then when they finally got together, it was like that, the magic was gone, and you feel like,
because they spent so much time on will they or won't they, and will they or won't they. And they got used to that dynamic, that when they tried to change things, the fan base was used to the one. They got the fan base used to the one. That would not have happened with this, because we had one episode with these two. That's it.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to get used to. And so you can develop, now that they're two different lives, they remember being together in this other previous life, but they're different people now. How does that work? And so there are complications that you can explore. It could have been a really great way to subvert that will they, won't they, will they, won't they, will they, won't they. They get together, and then all of a sudden the show jumps the shark. But since you don't have that long-term buildup, and especially since they're both symbiotes, you can explore how that changes the dynamic of the relationship, and how they have to learn to live together as different people as they become over the generations. So it could have been really interesting and really dramatic, but
I like the
they
bittersweet
didn't go
ending.
there.
I like the bittersweet ending. And no, Radical Bacon, I don't hate happy endings. I love happy endings, but I love sad endings too.
Right. But you love happy endings.
That's true. Yes, for like I say, especially for a series where you know, and especially a series like Deep Space Nine that ran for 7 years. Like, if you want to give a happy ending to a particular character, because let's, for instance, you know that character is leaving the show, and you want to give them a happy ending, and you know after that we're not going to see them anymore. That's fine if you come up with a good happy ending that feels right and feels earned. Like, yeah, go for it. You know, um, yeah.
Bill Cotter, yeah,
and
I would
and
say just bring her on as a regular, like an occasional
and
character.
and yeah, somebody mentioned yeah, Sia in the chat mentioned, I was going to bring this up too, Susanna Thompson, who plays Lenara, went on to play the Borg Queen on Star Trek Voyager. So she was a recurring guest actor in Star Trek, just not in that role. I think she played the Borg Queen twice on Voyager. 255 ADS, I saw your super chat. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. We were talking about other stuff. I didn't mean to miss it. Was this a cop out to make Jadzia not technically gay? I don't think that was it. I think the problem, the reason why they did it this way was that they had already established that by the 24th century, being gay was not a big deal, and that homophobia didn't really exist for Star Trek
Wasn't a thing.
characters. Yeah. So in order to do a Star Trek episode about homophobia, you have to have something else to stand in for homophobia. And the way they did that in this case was to create the idea of, Trill hosts aren't supposed to get back in touch with people they were partners with in past lifetimes, and to do it that way. So there's still like the prejudice against, these people getting together. It can be a same-sex couple, because you could say, well, they were together in a past life and now they're back together again. And the issue specifically for the characters in the episode is not that it's two women, it's that it's two women who were married in the past life. That's the problem. But we all know what it's really about. So, but I don't think it was a technicality so the Jadzia wouldn't technically be gay. I think actually the show is pretty, again, for a show made in the 90s, the show is about as open as it can be, with the fact that Jadzia is kind of fluid in terms of her sexuality. She's not, and she's extremely open in terms of other people's sexuality. Like there's that episode from earlier, where the Ferengi woman who is pretending to be a Ferengi man falls in love with Quark, and Jadzia figures out that she has a thing for Quark, but she doesn't figure out that she's a woman. She just assumes that she was just a Ferengi dude who had a thing for Quark. And Jadzia was completely fine with that. She thought that was cool, so yeah.
Aside from anybody having a thing for Quark.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I don't think it's never really implied that Jadzia has that kind of a thing for Quark, but remember, Jadzia does really like Quark. Like her and Quark are really close. I don't think she sees him in that way, but I mean, it's not like she's like, ew, Quark, who'd want to fuck him? Like she wouldn't have that reaction.
Well, that just goes, I think that just goes back to her openness. Is like, hey, it takes all kinds. Me, hell never. But some people, they are just, let's just say they're very different from me.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the thingy.
You want to play Wordle?
I'm going.
Are you're going downhill? You're
pumpkin.
sliding down a hill towards a bathtub, aren't you?
There's a pumpkin. It is not in the bathtub, but it is along the way.
All right, everybody. We're going to play Wordle. So for everybody who has never been with us when we play Wordle before, the way this works is, this is today's Wordle. Let me get it on screen for you all here. There it is. Dana and I are gonna play Wordle, and you all can
Hooray.
help us if you want. If you have not played today's Wordle, if you don't know what the solution is, we welcome your participation. Throw in your guesses into the chat, and we will make use of them as we see fit. If you have solved today's Wordle, please do not give away the answer. And as a reminder, Dana is not actually looking at the Wordle board, just so you're extra impressed when Dana solves it. Dana's not actually looking at the Wordle board. She is only going by what I describe.
Sometimes it's us together.
That's true. We solve it together. So, okay.
Kara, shall we? Now you have hurted my feelings.
It's the only reason.
I'm sad.
No, don't be sad.
I will be sad if I goddamn well want to.
All right. Oh, you Steven. Swore. You swore without being on your Patreon.
Sure. So Wordle, a big box. Wordle is where we try to guess a 5-letter word, which is good because if it was a 4-letter word, people would have guessed word eaters.
Yeah. Okay. So Dana Cole swears. That's terrific, David. Okay. So shall we start with your first starter word?
Yep. Let's go with heart.
Heart. Heart. And
good
that
job.
gives
you
us.
Spelled it correctly.
I try. Ooh, and that it's a good one this time. It gives us an E in the right position.
Woo-hoo.
And an A and an R, both of which are in the wrong position, but they're in there. So no H, no T, but an E in the right place and an A and an R in there somewhere.
So R, E, and A.
Yes.
What about R-E blank A blank?
R-E blank A blank. R-E.
Or blank E.
It could,
blank
no, it couldn't be.
E-R-A blank.
Blank E-R-A blank.
Feral would work.
Like F-E-A-R-A-L. R-A-L. You want to try that?
Right. Yes, David C. Drake suggests rebar, which would work as well, but that doesn't give us as many letters to check. R-E-G-N-A-L. Kara, that's 6 letters. We need 5.
That's too many letters. Yeah.
I think feral is probably our best guess, especially as L is a common letter.
Okay. Feral. F-E-R-A-L. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that's not it, but that is where the A goes. And there is an L, and the L is the last letter. So now we know that the R must be the first letter.
So R-E blank A-L. Regal.
So it could be regal. Yeah. You want to try regal?
Yes.
I think that's almost certainly got to be it. I don't know what else it could be. It is regal.
Yes. We make such a good team. And Vilcata, of course. Although I've always been partial to the City Gangrel because you get a better bloodline set for your what do they call them in Vampire? Your abilities that are tied to your clans. Yay, us. Well,
we did
Kara,
it. Oh, Kara, well, then you get partial credit. You meant regal.
Absolutely.
So. Oh, that Philip, yes, it could also have been renal. Yes.
I like regal better. I think it's a nicer word.
Yeah, I think regal is a nicer word than renal. Yes, I would concur with that for sure. So before we wrap
Disciplines.
up,
Thank you, Kane.
discipline. Yes, sure, because it's You know, do you know how I know what I know the word gangrel?
From listening to people in your chat.
No. Although you might think so. No, I don't listen when I see people are talking about RPG shit. I just turn my brain off. No, Gangrel was the name of a wrestler in the 90s.
I know. He got
Gangrel. Yeah,
sued. He got
Gangrel.
sued.
Yes, now he is. Well, he continue. I don't know. If, I don't. I think. I don't think he still wrestles, or maybe he does very occasionally. But after he left the WWF, he started wrestling as Vampire Warrior. That was his name because he couldn't
Because
be
it's
Gangrel.
so different. Yeah, Vilcata G. So City Gangrel Protean was great because level 2,
God.
you could pop the claws and they did ag damage. Like, that was so OP.
Hey, it's time. Okay, we need to stop.
Steve is a wussy. Steve is a wussy when it comes to gaming.
But listen, before we wrap things up, we have something special that we need to remind people of. We mentioned it last time, and I mentioned it on my Friday live stream, but just in case anybody doesn't know yet, this Friday, day after tomorrow, back here on my channel
Celebrate.
at 6.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. You can stay up a little later.
Woo!
Yes. No school in the morning. So, day after tomorrow, Friday, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern time, just the same start time as this live stream, Dana and I are doing a special live stream together. It's another watch along, only this time, instead of watching an episode of a show, we're watching a movie, a whole ass movie in one sitting. And the movie we're watching together is Galaxy Quest. And the link to that live stream is in the description of this live stream. And you can also find it on my channel homepage. If you just go there along the top under upcoming live streams, it's right there. We're calling it The Back Row, which is a series title in case we do more of these. But Galaxy Quest, it'll be a Galaxy Quest watch along. So between now and then, figure out how you're going to watch Galaxy Quest with us, because it's on Netflix here in the United States. It's on Paramount Plus. I don't know where else it might be streaming here and internationally, or if you have like a digital copy of your own, or a DVD or a Blu-ray or whatever. However you have Galaxy Quest to watch, you should join us back here day after tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, because we're going to watch Galaxy Quest together, a Galaxy Quest watch along. It'll be great.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, Steve.
Yes, Dana.
Which is, you have a Joe, right? Who comes to the chats that I can't come to because they're on Sundays.
And Serious Mind. Yeah, Joe. Yeah.
I might see if I can't pop over to his channel. Maybe we could do a chat talking about the various editions of White Wolf, or specifically World of Darkness.
I'm sure Joe would love that.
And it's just at Serious Mind, MINED, or is it MIND?
It's Sirius as in the star,
right?
Like the dog star, Sirius, and then MINED.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Serious Mind. Yeah.
So I am going to jump in here because there were some questions.
Of course.
Kane, Malkavians have the best disciplines, but you've got to be really, really careful. Because I mean, you got your bunny milks; those are just like a pain. You don't want anything to do with them. But in the tabletop version, Vengeful is a derangement. Let me tell you, it's supposed to be like a challenge for you, but it can be super, super effective as far as storytelling. You know, really help you motivate and go for your goals, and really not be too much of an inconvenience for you.
I know how Dr. Bashir felt now.
Good. And HB Haga, I'm not sure what you're saying about a catif. City Grand Girls aren't caitiffs. Commander Tiger saved us. So yeah, Vampire the Masquerade, lots of fun. And yeah, I might have to pop over to Joe's channel and see what I can say. Hey, can we get together and talk about the various worlds of darkness and what we like about them, what we didn't about systems and stories and character archetypes?
I would love for you and Joe to do that on Joe's channel so much.
Without you there?
Yes.
Couldn't even come to the chat.
You ask so much.
I do.
You ask so much.
Mostly. Okay, for 2 weeks.
If you really cared, you'd come to the chat for this hypothetical live stream where 2 of your friends will talk about one of the least interesting things to you in the entire world.
Right, but you would just be in the chat. And so like you could have like the Mandalorian going on and we wouldn't know. You could just pop in occasionally and say something like, that sounds so boring. And then it'd be like, hi, Steve, that's okay. We don't care what you think.
The episodes of The Mandalorian this year aren't nearly long enough. They're only like 35 minutes. It's not going to work.
You can watch Lord of the Rings.
Oh, God in heaven.
That would be plenty long enough.
I'd rather, I would watch The Godfather Part 2 because that's as long as a Lord of the Rings movie and it's actually good.
Snakebit Cat, let me get my pen. Die the RPG.
David Corten, I don't have anything again. I mean, I just think they're incredibly boring. I just can't think of a bigger possible waste of time. For me personally, obviously for other people, for people who enjoy them, they're not a waste of time.
Shut up, Steve. So the reason that Steve thinks that RPGs are boring is because he's not keen on the use of structure and rules, and especially like the dice rolling to determine how the story goes. He wants the freedom like we have when we do the Ensign's log, where we determine the story. It's entirely up to us.
Either that or just write a fucking play. Just do something creative. Just do a fucking play. Like this fucking the gamification of it. Like, oh, let me roll some fucking dice. Let me check my character sheet to see if I can. It just sounds so fucking boring. Hey, you know how great it is to have an imagination? Imagine if you combined your imagination with rigorous stat keeping. I just don't get the appeal of it at all. But I don't want to. Now you've got me started talking shit about it. I don't mean to talk shit about it. I know a lot of people enjoy it. I don't begrudge them that.
And yet you like baseball.
Oh,
which
no,
is like the stat keeping.
The stat keeping. No. Listen. The stat keeping in baseball is purely optional. And for me personally, when I watch a baseball game, I'm perfectly happy to let the people whose job it is keep the stats. I've never filled out a scorecard. That's never been my way of engaging with baseball fandom. Yeah. I mean, there are certain statistics like of players and stuff that I remember, that I know, that are like really significant statistics or significant records. But like in terms of like stats during a game or like the Moneyball stuff, like that's just not, I enjoy baseball because I enjoy the beauty of the game.
Okay. Question for you.
Not the stats stuff.
So yes, you talk about an hour-and-a-half movie being about the right length for, or being the ideal length for a movie. Yes.
Yeah. As a general rule. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Have you ever had an hour-and-a-half movie where you was like, where you thought that was too long? It would have been a good movie if it had been 50 minutes.
Oh yeah. There are some movies where 90 minutes feels like way too long. Yeah. A lot of bad movies. It's like, well, Gene Siskel used to say bad movies always feel too long and good movies always feel like they weren't long enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
oh, for sure.
Have you ever read flash fiction?
Oh yeah. Like 100 words or less, stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So part of it is the challenge of, you can't do for a tabletop role-playing game. Part of it is the challenge of you can't just do whatever. It's not free form. improv. So you're limited. You have, these are the limits. And then the challenge is, what happens, you know, how can the story go when you're working within those limits, and when you're interacting with other people who, you know, they might want to do this thing with the story, whereas you want to do that thing with the story. So it's kind of like improv, but with the additional layer of what do you do when there are limits. So it's just
Like, well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, if you're doing an improv with other people who are also good improvers, and you're all on the same page, especially if you're doing like we do with Ensign's Law, where it's like a narrative improv, where we're not just making shit up, trying to make people laugh. Like, you're actually playing specific characters and trying to tell a story, and, you know, and Jason gives us direction. He says, okay, here's, you know what I mean? So it's not like a complete free for all. Like, there are limits.
Right, exactly.
But it's not like there's no paperwork. You know what I mean? There's no fucking dice.
There's no paperwork for you, Steve. There's paperwork definitely paperwork for me, because I don't know any of the Star Trek stuff.
But there's not paperwork in terms of, you know, like mathematical expressions of your character's abilities. And, you know, if two people get into a fight, you know, this determines who will win. Like, if we have characters in the Ensign's Log that get into a fight and one of them has to win and one of them has to lose, the one who wins or loses is the one that has to lose for it to be the best thing in the story. And, you know, if we can't work that out for ourselves, then Jason makes the call and says, okay, Dana kills Steve because that's the best thing for the show, you know, and then that's what happens. But anyway, look, like I said,
it goes the other way around. It says, this is what the dice say happened. How do we make that into a good story? That's the challenge. So it's just a different way of thinking about story.
I'm glad you enjoy it. I would rather hacksaw my own leg off,
Steve,
than do it for 5 minutes.
Steve,
yes, Dana. Yes, Dana.
I would never ask you to do it for 5 minutes. But I like talking about the different ways of creating story.
Well, I'm glad.
And I would not want you to hacksaw your leg off.
Well, I mean, that's just hyperbole. I wouldn't actually do it. I would just leave. I would just get up and leave and go do something else.
All right. I am super, super sleepy.
Okay.
I'm going to put my hair up and get in the tub, and then I'm going to go to bed.
Okay, well, just don't fall asleep in the tub.
That is the objective. Also, there should be brushing of teeth before.
Yes. Also, not in the tub. Although I mean, you know what? It's your business.
I mean, as long as I like rinse off after.
There's one of my favorite jokes, one of the relatively few non-problematic, non-offensive jokes from Andrew Dice Clay. He did a stand-up routine years ago where he said, you know, I can't even think of a reason to get out of bed in the morning other than to take a piss. And even that's an option. It's my bed.
It's my bed and it's my piss.
So anyway, hope everybody can join us on Friday for Galaxy Quest, and we'll be back here next week for another Trek Reluctantly.
So good. I apologize in advance
for quoting the entire thing verbatim from beginning to end. If y'all think Dana, look, this is going to be different.
What you're really coming to do is to watch me suffer to keep my mouth shut.
Well, no, what I was going to say is for people who think that Dana talks over the episode too much, when we watch Galaxy Quest, it's going to be different, because Dana's not going to be like talking over it to like share her opinions or her takes on it or whatever. She's going to be just saying exactly what the characters are saying. She's going to be reciting the movie. So it'll be a little different. So you're not going to miss anything. So that's Friday at 6. And then we'll be back next Wednesday for another Trek Reluctantly. We will be watching Poirot next week. And the episode of Poirot that we're going to watch next week is Problem at Sea.
Not familiar with that one at the top of my head.
Oh. Well, neither am I. So it'll be fun.
Gee, imagine that.
Poirot Reluctantly. I'm looking forward to it.
Galaxy Quest. I mean, we've both seen it.
I've seen it many times. I know I'll adore it, but I'll probably adore Poirot too, because Poirot is, I've enjoyed it a lot so far. So,
Woo!
all right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Have a
Bye.
good night.
Hope
We'll
to
see
see
you
you on
Friday.
Friday.
Bye.